Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. And well, it's actually afternoon for me, but as you can tell, we're looking at a typical color wheel. It has your three primaries, white and black, and you line up your orange, add red, and you get this color. So what we're looking at today, I'll turn this over. This color wheel also has split complementaries. And so what I'm going to do today is show you how to modify this into a custom color wheel. And we're going to start off, I'll start off for you, is I took it apart. You don't have to. And by taking it apart, I've separated the three wheels, and these are connected by a rivet. So if you have access to rivets, you can use one of those, or realistically, you could use a push pin in the center. So we start off this process by drawing a circle. Let me get my pencil here, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to take this first wheel, find a corner, draw it out. And I may be able to do the pen and ink version of this for you to download as a PDF. I'm looking at that right now. All right, so I have I traced my circle. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to trace my little windows. And trace my circle. Now this is going to give me everything that they have done. So my next step is to come in and let's turn this. That's okay. I'm just going to cut around my lines before I do. I'll mark these so they'll stay on inside the circle. So I'm simply going to cut around my circle. Very simple. So the simple truth is that most artists have a mixed bag of colors. They have paints that have kind of evolved over time. So what they own changes, and what their needs are changes. So I'm going to set the board down. This is my old drawing board. And I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and come in and cut out my little windows. So over time, what we have in our box changes and our needs change. So you can make a color wheel that is responsive to your particular needs. Now this could be the colors you want for painting faces. It could be the palette you want for doing oceans or skies, trees, rocks, where you want to understand your mixtures better without relying on making new mixes all the time. you want to understand where you get if you mix one thing with another. So in this circumstance, I'm going to look at what I actually have in my acrylic box today. And while I should have the primaries, I may not have the primaries. And if I don't have the primaries and I don't have the budget to run around and buy new, I want to see where I can get to with what I have. So as you see, I just trace that out, cut out my little slots, and I'm mimicking what the official one looks like. And here is my replication of this. So the second sheet used on this color wheel is this one. And I saved enough room on my board to, where did I put that pencil? Come on, pencil, there you are. Okay, I saved enough room to come around, trace this second one out, and realistically you don't need the third one. I'll probably do it, if I do a PDF, make it available to people, I will probably include it for those of you who are hardcore and want to do it. But this gives you a way to create your own color wheel for things like facial tones, what have you got? So we're going to go around here and mark where each of these will hit that line. We'll follow this out, so I'm going to drop this back down on here and mark my little circle. Okay, so that is page number 2. And again, all I'm going to do is cut this out. And I'm going to create the wheel. And if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have access to rivets and can't easily put one of these together, you don't really have to. You can get a little piece of wood or cork or something, put it under the bottom sheet, and stick a push pin through your center circle, and it will pivot. So you can make one of these on the cheap. It's just a little time on your part. Okay, so I have this starting out. And what I need to do next is that the center is here. So I need to go to my center, draw lines for all those little lines I used, that I left behind, use them to draw my sections. And perfection isn't required. It's helpful, but it's not required. We do the best we can when we're doing any of this stuff. And what you're looking for is a way to make your life a little easier using whichever mediums you're using. So you could do this for Copic markers. You can do it for acrylic paints, watercolors, maybe pastels. They'd be pretty messy. But you could spray fix TIFF on them. I haven't tried that particular one. But you could do it with your colored pencils and have good approximations of what your actual materials look like. Okay, so now I have the wheel, And as you see, they have come in with various circles. So I will draw the various circles and come back and show you. Hello everybody, welcome back. And so coming back on our project here, going to take another look at it for you. So here is this sample wheel. This is the one I took apart, and this is the one I created. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And what I'll do next is I'll scan this in so that I have it in a reproducible form. And I may actually go around here after that and give you some labels, but I may do that on a Xerox copy so that I'm not impacting the actual cardstock. This is a 100-pound hammer mill or Bristol board, depending on what you have in your studio. And so that's my next step, is that I'll go ahead and scan it in so that I have a more permanent copy. If you want a PDF file of that scan, just let me know. You can leave me a message here on YouTube or on my Blue Sky channel, and just let me know what you need, and I'll arrange a way to get it to you. Next up, so I'll go do that, and then I'll come back and we'll look at what I have in my acrylics, as I'll start with those, and we'll talk a little bit about what you actually have versus what they think you have. And the reality is that I probably won't have the 3 primaries, which is the blue, the yellow, and the red. I'll have some version, but that's most likely that I won't have the pure colors because I have a mixture of stuff. And so the object of this exercise is to be real with what you have and to make up a color wheel that is actually what the paints you have on hand. And then to be able to use it, I can mount that out here, and I can use it to sample the colors that I actually have. Oh, that doesn't, my own, oh, it should work. It should work. I measured correctly. So that's what will happen. And you can write on your own samples, your own color wheel, what it's for, what colors you're using, and the purpose that you're creating it for yourself. And like I said, if you're doing something like a lot of, you're trying to learn portraits and shading faces, which can be really tricky, it could be really helpful to have a sample showing you which tones you're going to get by mixing which colors. And I may actually do this process myself several times. I know I want one in acrylic, and I want one for the painting I'm doing right now, so that I mix the colors that I want to see. And then the next one I may do is in my Copic markers for faces, and I'll see if I can do that one for you and post it as well. Anyway, I'll come back when I have the scans done and I'm working on the color, and I'll show you how I intend to do that. Bye.